Hey, what's up, mortals? It's me, Robert Ramirez, aka Rars Revenge here. And before we get into today's video, there's something I'd like to say. I'd like to let you all know that we have a merch store, and some of the items in it are only available for a limited amount of time. So, if you're interested, go into the description and check it out. Each purchase helps us make more content. Secondly, if this video hits 300 likes by the end of the week, we will continue this what if. Thirdly, if you didn't know, only 41.3% of you guys are actually subscribed to us. So please hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon. Now with that out of the way, let's get into the story. Midoriya's first day at UA proved to be an eventful one. He and Bakugo were some of the first students to arrive. Not long after they took to their seats, Katsuki got in an argument with Tenya, and Ochako talked with Izuku. The commotion was cut short when Aizawa brought them to the school grounds and tested their capabilities, which resulted in Mineta's expulsion. After the first day finished, Deku and Kacchan head home alongside their two new friends. Izuku's second day was much more normal than the first, until he had hero basics. All Might told the class that they would be doing battle training, so they all changed into their costumes and went to ground beta. After everyone gathered, All Might split everyone into teams. The first match would be Team D as the villains and Team A as the heroes. Bakugo and Ida were standing by the paper bomb trying to discuss some sort of strategy. Bakugo quickly took charge and started the discussion. Listen up, Four Eyes. Don't underestimate Deku. Those eyes of his are a problem. Gobsmacked at Katsuki's insistence on not remembering his name, Ida replied with a stern and almost irritated tone. I have a name, you know. It's Tenya Ida. And I implore that you learn it. What do you mean his eyes are a problem? His quirk is super strength. He wouldn't have been able to take down the zero pointers during the entrance exams if it wasn't. Bakugo sighed in annoyance. You want me to remember your name? Do something to make me remember. His quirk is called Sharingan. The boost in strength is nothing compared to what it really does. He had a hell of a right hook anyway. The boost to his power still wouldn't have been enough for the exam. Ida starts to worry about how badly he may have misjudged Midoriya's power. Bakugo, what is Midoriya capable of? Katsuki turned to look Tenya in the eye and spoke. Enhanced strength, speed, reaction time, and sight. He could see a cellular level and predict movements just by looking at people. That's not the problem. Ida gulped as Bakugo continued. He can put you under hypnosis if he makes eye contact. You could snap out once you know you're under, but that nerd's damn good at hiding it. Makes fighting him a pain, and there's no way you're gonna know when you're under. So, here's the plan. Ochako and Izuku were standing outside the building that the bomb and their opponents were in. Midoriya was looking over the building as Uraraka tries her best to memorize the map as they started to strategize. Deku, you should look at the map so you won't get lost if we get split up. Izuku's eyes were scanning the windows of the building, going floor by floor as he talked. I already memorized the map when we got it. Uraraka, I found the bomb! Confused, she looked from the map to Midoriya. How do you... Deku, your eyes! Izuku sheepishly smiled and deactivated his quirk and turned to face her. He explained the capabilities of his quirk to her, and that the bomb was on the 5th floor. Much to her amazement, he had also discussed with her the plan he had come up with during the rest of their 5 minutes. Kacchan probably doesn't expect us to split up as soon as the match starts, so that's what we'll do. Ida probably knows about my Sharingan. That'll make things more difficult, but I should be able to still handle him. Kacchan is the biggest threat. He's used to avoiding eye contact in fights. I'll confront Ida. Deal with Kacchan. I'll join you as soon as I can. Uraraka enthusiastically nods and gives him a thumbs up, and agrees to go along with his plan. Midoriya elaborates on his plan with the remaining time. As soon as All Might announced the start of the match, Midoriya enters through a window on the 3rd level, and Uraraka enters through a window on the 5th floor. Izuku took a deep breath, and with as much force as he could muster shouted, Kacchan! Come out and face me like a man, you coward! The sound of Ida's engine echoed through the floor Midoriya was on. Izuku activated his Sharingan at the moment he heard it. Tenya came speeding down the hall Izuku was in, just as he expected. Tenya was avoiding looking at Izuku's face. Ida rushes past Izuku and sends him flying down the hall he just ran through with an engine-powered kick to the back. Midoriya went face first into the wall and collapsed to the ground. Ida took the role as a villain to such a serious extent that it was comedic. He approached Midoriya while taunting him in an unintentional, over-dramatic tone. Your tricks won't work on me, hero. Just as my associate said, you've miscalculated. Izuku scurried off and sprinted down an adjacent hallway with Tenya in hot pursuit. He made a show for Tenya of trying to contact Uraraka via his earpiece, and just as he had hoped, his pursuer stopped him. Ida kicked him in the side of his stomach at an upward angle, rocketing him into the ceiling and then plummeting to the floor back first. Before Izuku could get up, Ida stomped on his back and used one of his hands to pin Izuku's head to the ground. Tenya taunted him again. Muhahaha! Give up, hero scum! You have been beaten! Izuku grinned as he responded to Ida. Thanks for playing along, Ida. Thanks to you, everything is just going as we planned. Uraraka, now! Before we get back into the story, I would like to say that we've got a second channel called Anime Deep Dive. Anime Deep Dive goes over the hard facts of the anime presented. Now, in case you guys didn't know, we have a third channel called Anime Theory. Anime Theory mainly focuses on a large variety of mind-boggling anime theories. If you're interested in content like this, please go check out the description down below, or click the icon in the top right corner. Now, with that out of the way, let's get back into the story. Understanding the implications of Izuku's words, Tenya lets up from him as he searched for which direction Ochaco would be coming from. Taking the opportunity, he pushed Ida off of him. As Tenya was falling and Izuku was getting up, the two made eye contact. Just as quickly as he fell, Ida got back up and tried to retreat, but it was too late. Before he could reach the end of the hallway, Uraraka appeared standing in his way. He looked behind him to see that Izuku had started to charge at him. When he looked back, Ochaco also was following suit. Since she was closer, he grabbed onto her arms before she could make him float. He turned to throw her at Midoriya, who was right next to him, only inches from punching him in the face. Before contact was made, All Might's voice rang through the loudspeakers.
Tenya Ida has been captured by the heroes.
Ida blinked and then looked around. Midoriya and Uraraka were nowhere to be found, and the capture tape was tied around his leg. He thought back to the moment before when he accidentally looked at Izuku in the eyes and realized he had been hypnotized. Tenya found himself wondering how much of what he experienced had actually happened as he decided to leave the building. Bakugo cursed himself when he heard All Might's announcement. Damn it, Four Eyes! You couldn't hold out until I was done with Round Cheeks, could ya? A few minutes after the mock battle started, Ochaco had run into the room with the bomb and the two started fighting. Uraraka was staying low and tried to get in as close as possible. He figured as much would happen. Katsuki figured that Deku probably prepared her just in case the two decided to fight. Debris was floating everywhere, and chunks of pillars, walls, floors, and ceilings were missing. She made the chunks he blasted to smithereens float with her quirk. Since the start, he had been on the winning side of the battle. Uraraka was exhausted, and Bakugo kept blowing back whatever was thrown at him. Nausea started to hit Ochaco, but the two continued their little song and dance. She'd run at him. He'd blow away her and the debris, only for her to get right back up. Izuku heard All Might's announcement as he started running up the first flight of stairs he'd have to go through. Even with having the entire building plan memorized, it took a minute for him to get up 2 floors. When he entered the area with the bomb, it was covered in smoke and floating bits of what Midoriya assumed were the building. Ochaco came flying out of the smoke and violently fell on her back. Izuku ran over to her to help her up. He explained that everything with Ida went pretty much according to their plan and asked if she was ready for the next step. She nods and gives him a thumbs up before suppressing the need to throw up. The two barged into the smoke and rubble-filled area. Midoriya kept his eyes looking for any movement that could be Bakugo. As he and Uraraka stayed back to back, Ochaco was leading the way to where the bomb was while they were trying to find Katsuki. It didn't take long for them to find him. After a short time, they heard his voice screaming, "Damn it!" followed by a huge explosion that blew away smoke, debris, and almost Uraraka. Time seemed to freeze for a moment when everything cleared. Kacchan looked up at them and stayed back. Izuku and Ochaco were close to the bomb, way too close for Bakugo to get there in time. He was shocked, but not for long. Anger and instinct took over, and he readied himself. Everything seemed like it was moving slower than normal, even for Izuku, but it all happened in an instant. Katsuki pulled the pin on his gauntlet. Izuku tackled Ochaco out of the way. The room lit up and the explosion was deafening. Bakugo was the only one to hear that the hero team had won due to his disqualification. He was so caught up in the moment, he didn't realize what he did. He blew up the bomb. Once everything sunk in for him, he cursed himself for getting carried away and helped up Izuku. After explaining that they won, they all evacuated the building, and the rest of the matches went as planned. The rest of the matches were intense after the bar has been set so high by the first one. The only other match that stood out was Team B, Todoroki and Soji versus Team I, Ojiro, Hagakori, and Yaoyorozu. Due to the few oddities, Todoroki's immense power was able to freeze the entire villain team to the ground aside from Yaoyorozu in one go, and the only person that stood a chance surrendered due to it being 2-on-1. It was an oddly quick match and showed just how far a lot of students had to still go. When all the matches were over, the students headed back to class. The school day ended and some of the students swarmed Izuku and Katsuki to introduce themselves and talked about their match. After a while, Midoriya talking and Bakugo ignoring everyone, they both left for the day with Ida and Uraraka. News reporters swarmed the students as they tried to enter UA High, but Aizawa quickly saved them from the harassment. Homeroom was spent deciding who should be class president, and shortly after lunch turned into chaos. The students gathered to head to the USJ, but Aizawa noticed something strange as the class was about to start. Thank you all for watching the video to the end. Now, there's a few things I'd like to go over before the video ends. On behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank the writers for the video, as well as the editors for this video. Their details will be in the description down below. If you're a voice actor, editor, or writer, or you're interested in becoming one of those, go to the Discord that is in the description of this video and hit up one of the heads of those areas. We're always looking for more members to join us. That's it from us for today's video, so thank you all for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're interested, and hit that like button if you liked the video. Until next time, peace out mortals, have an amazing day!